Chapter 2. Nutrition in Animals. In the previous chapter, we have learnt that green plants can prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis, but animals cannot. Animals are dependent on plants for food, directly or indirectly. All organisms, including humans, require food for growth, to repair damaged parts of their bodies, and for obtaining energy to carry out life processes. Animal nutrition is a process of taking food by an organism and its digestion, absorption, and utilization in the body. Different steps in the process of nutrition. There are 5 main steps in the process of nutrition in animals. These are ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and ejection. Ingestion, the process by which the food is taken inside the body of an organism, is called ingestion. When we put food into our mouth with hands, we are ingesting the food. However, different animals ingest food in different ways and have special organs for this purpose. 2. Digestion. The food of most animals consists of complex insoluble substances which cannot be absorbed by the animal's body in this form. The breakdown of complex insoluble food substances into simple soluble food substances with the help of digestive juices prepared by the body is called digestion. Absorption, the process in which the simple soluble digested food substances are absorbed into the blood is called absorption. Assimilation, the simple soluble absorbed food substances are transported to the different parts of the body where they are utilized for energy growth and repair. This process is called assimilation. Ejection, a part of the food which we eat, remains undigested and unabsorbed, which cannot be utilized by the body. The process in which the undigested food is removed from the body is called ejection. Modes of procuring food. The mode of procuring food into the body varies in different organisms. Each organism has some special structure on its body to procure food. 1. Human beings. Human beings use their hands to take food into their mouth. 2. Ruminants. Ruminating animals, such as cow and horse, pick up food directly into their mouth. 3. Paramecium. Paramecium, unicellular organism, has fine hair-like structures called cilia all over its body. The constant movement of cilia pushes the food particles along with the water current into its mouth. 4. Hydra. Hydra, multicellular organism, has a large number of tentacles around its mouth, which entangles small aquatic animals and kill them with their stinging cells. The food is then pushed inside the mouth. Spider. Spiders weave a sticky web in which small insects get trapped. They inject digestive juices in the body of insects, which digest all the parts of the body. The spider then sucks up the digested food. 6. Frog. Frog captures its prey with its long, sticky tongue. When an insect comes near the frog, it pushes out its sticky tongue to catch the insect. 7. Insects. The mouth parts of insects, such as butterflies, houseflies, mosquitoes, and bees, are modified to form a feeding tube called proboscis to suck liquid food. It is similar to the way we sip drinks with a straw. An insect uses its feeding tube to obtain food. Digestion in humans. We take in food through the mouth, digest and utilize it. The undigested parts of the food are expelled from the body. The food passes through a long muscular canal called alimentary canal or digestive tract, which begins at the buccal cavity and ends at the anus. The alimentary canal consists of the following organs. 1. buccal cavity or oral cavity. 2. Esophagus or food pipe. 3. Stomach. 4. Small intestine. 5. Large intestine ending at the rectum. 6. Anus. The inner walls of the stomach, the small intestine, and the various glands such as salivary glands, the liver and the pancreas secrete digestive juices. These digestive juices convert complex, insoluble food substances into simple, soluble food substances. The digestive tract and the associated glands together constitute the digestive system. Ingestion. We have learned that the process of taking food into the body is called ingestion. Human beings have mouth for the ingestion of food. The food is taken into the body through the mouth with the help of hands. Digestion. The mouth leads the food into the buccal cavity or mouth cavity. The buccal cavity contains teeth, tongue, and salivary gland. Let us study in detail about each. Teeth. The teeth break the food into small pieces, chew it, and grind it. Chewing mixes the small pieces of food with saliva. This process is called mastication. The digestion of food inside the buccal cavity is called mechanical digestion. Each tooth is present in a separate socket in the gums. The white substance which covers the teeth is called enamel. It is the hardest substance in the human body. Incisors. Cutting teeth. These are 4 flat and blade-like teeth present in the front part of each jaw. These teeth are used to bite and cut the food into small pieces. Canines. Tearing teeth. These are present on either side of the incisors. They are 2 in number in each jaw. These are sharp and pointed and thus help in tearing the food. Premolars. Grinding teeth. There are 2 premolars next to each canine, 4 in number in each jaw. These are broad and flat teeth. They grind food and break it into smaller pieces. Molars. Grinding teeth. The remaining teeth in the jaw are 3 molars on either side of premolars, 6 in number in each jaw. These teeth are also broad and flat. They are larger than the premolars. These teeth are also used to crush and grind food. Temporary and permanent set of teeth. In human beings, the teeth grow twice. The temporary set of teeth grow when the child is in the age group of 6 months to 8 years. This set of teeth is called milk teeth. These teeth are smaller and weaker. These are 20 in number, 10 in the upper jaw, 4 incisors, 2 canines, and 4 molars, and 10 in the lower jaw. Teeth grow again after the milk teeth fall out. The second set of teeth is called permanent teeth. These teeth remain till old age. Permanent teeth cannot be replaced by new natural teeth. These are 32 in number, 16 in the upper jaw, 4 incisor, 2 canines, 4 premolars, and 6 molars, and 16 in the lower jaw. Tooth decay and toothache. When we eat food, small bits of it get stuck between our teeth. Sometimes these bits of food stay between our teeth if we do not brush our teeth carefully. The bacteria present in our mouth reacts with the leftover food and forms acids. The acids affect the tooth enamel, which starts decaying. This is called tooth decay. It causes holes or cavities in the enamel. As a result, the nerves and the blood vessels in the pulp get exposed. When any cold or hot thing comes in contact with these exposed nerves, we feel pain. Tooth decay causes the following problems: holes or cavities in the teeth, foul smell, loss of teeth, toothache, stomach disorders. Tooth decay can be avoided in the following manner.
We should avoid eating too many sweets, ice creams and chocolates. We must brush our teeth at least twice a day, in the morning and at night before going to bed. We must floss our teeth every day. A dental floss is a special strong thread that is moved back and forth through the spaces between our teeth to remove the food stuck between our teeth, the food that cannot be removed by brushing. Tongue. The tongue is a fleshy, muscular organ attached at the back to the floor of the buccal cavity. It is free at the front and can be moved in all directions. The tongue is important for performing the following functions. It helps in mixing saliva with food. It helps in pushing and thus swallowing the food into the food pipe. It helps in getting the taste of food. It has several buds that can distinguish 4 types of tastes in food: salty, sour, bitter, and taste. It enables us to speak.
Salivary glands. The salivary glands produce saliva. The saliva contains an enzyme called amylase that converts the starch present in the food into sugars. Saliva also makes the food wet and slimy so that it can be easily swallowed. Activity 1.
Take 2 test tubes and label them A and B. In test tube A, put a few pieces of boiled potato. In test tube B, put a few pieces of boiled potato after chewing them for 3 to 5 minutes. Put 2 to 3 drops of iodine solution in each test tube. We observe the following. In test tube A, the pieces of boiled potato turn blue-black. In test tube B, the pieces of boiled potato turn reddish-brown to yellow. Conclusion: the boiled potato in test tube A contains starch, which turns blue-black when it comes in contact with iodine. The boiled and chewed potato pieces in test tube B are acted upon by the saliva. The amylase present in saliva breaks the starch in the boiled potato into sugar. Sugar does not give blue-black color with iodine. Pharynx and esophagus. The tongue pushes the chewed food into a short muscular tube called the pharynx. From the pharynx, the food goes into a long and narrow muscular tube called the food pipe or esophagus. When the slightly digested food enters the food pipe, the walls of the food pipe start contracting and expanding to push the food down into the stomach. The pushing down of food by the walls of the food pipe in a wave-like action is called peristalsis. Digestion of food does not take place in the esophagus. Stomach. The stomach is a J-shaped, thick-walled organ on the left side of the abdomen. It is the widest part of the alimentary canal. The wall of the stomach contains gastric glands. These glands secrete gastric juice, which contains 3 substances: hydrochloric acid, pepsin, and mucus. Hydrochloric acid kills many harmful bacteria that enter with the food and makes the medium in the stomach acidic. The mucus protects the lining of the stomach. In the acidic medium, pepsin digests the proteins in the food to form simple soluble substances called peptones. Consequently, the food gets converted into a partially digested semi-solid food called chyme. The chyme leaves the stomach and enters the small intestine. The small intestine. The small intestine is the longest part of the alimentary canal. It is about 7.5 meters long and arranged in the form of a coil. The small intestine receives secretions from two glands, the liver and the pancreas, through a common duct. The wall of the small intestine also secretes digestive juices called intestinal juices. Liver. The liver is a reddish-brown gland situated in the upper part of the abdomen on the right side. It is the largest gland in the body. It secretes bile juice, which is stored in a sac called the gallbladder, located near the liver. Bile juice helps in the digestion of fats. Fats are present as big droplets in the food, because of which they cannot be digested easily. Bile juice breaks these big droplets into small droplets and makes their digestion easier. Pancreas. The pancreas is a large cream-colored gland located just below the stomach. It secretes pancreatic juice and releases it into the intestine. The pancreatic juice acts on carbohydrates and proteins and changes them into simpler forms. Intestinal juices. The partly digested food now reaches the lower part of the small intestine. Digestion, which starts in the mouth, is completed in the small intestine. The enzymes in the intestinal juice act upon the partially digested food and convert it into simple soluble substances. As a result, the carbohydrates get broken into simple sugars such as glucose. The fats get broken into fatty acids and glycerol. The proteins get broken into amino acids. The minerals and vitamins present in the food do not need to be changed. Cells are able to absorb them as they are. Absorption in the small intestine. The process of absorption occurs in the small intestine. The inner wall of the small intestine has millions of finger-like projections or folds called villi, singular villus. Each villus has a network of thin and small blood vessels called capillary, close to its surface. These villi give the inner walls of the small intestine a very large surface area. The surface of the villi absorbs the digested food materials and passes them to the blood capillaries. The absorbed food is carried to all the cells of the body by the blood. This food is utilized by the cells to release energy. Assimilation of food. The blood carries the absorbed digested food from the small intestine to different organs of the body where it is used to build complex substances such as the proteins required by the body for growth and repair of body tissues. This stage is the final stage in the process of digestion. It is known as assimilation. In the cells, glucose breaks down with the help of oxygen into carbon dioxide and water, and energy is released.
Amino acids are used for building and repairing the body parts, such as worn-out cells and tissues. Fatty acids and glycerol act as energy reserves and are stored under the skin for further use.
Ejection of undigested food. The food that remains undigested and unabsorbed passes from the small intestine into the large intestine, which is wider and shorter than the small intestine. It is about 1.5 meters in length.
Large intestine has two parts, colon, upper part, and rectum, lower part. Colon absorbs water and some salts from the undigested food. Due to this, the undigested food becomes dry and almost semi-solid. This is known as feces and is stored in the rectum. Feces is passed out of the body through the anus. This process is called ejection. Nutrition in amoeba. Amoeba is a microscopic, single-celled organism found in ponds, pools and ditches. It constantly changes its shape by pushing out one or more finger-like projections called pseudopodia or false feet, meant for locomotion and capturing of food. All the processes of nutrition are performed by the single cell of amoeba.
Ingestion. Amoeba eats tiny microscopic plants and animals as food, which float in water in which it lives. When an amoeba encounters a suitable organism, it pushes out two pseudopodia around the organism. Gradually, the tips of the pseudopodia fuse with each other. As a result, the food is engulfed with a little surrounding water to form a food vacuole inside the amoeba. Digestion. The enzymes from the surrounding cytoplasm enter the food vacuole and break down the food into simple soluble substances. Absorption. The digested food present in the food vacuole is absorbed directly into the cytoplasm. Assimilation. The digested food absorbed by the cytoplasm is stored or utilized for its growth, development and multiplication and release of energy. Ejection. The undigested food collects inside the vacuole. The cell membrane of the amoeba suddenly ruptures at any place and the undigested food is thrown outside the body by the vacuole. Nutrition in ruminants. Certain grass-eating animals such as cows, buffaloes, deer and sheep quickly gather food, chew the food rapidly, mix it with saliva and swallow it hurriedly. In ruminants, the stomach is divided into 4 chambers. They are the rumen, the first chamber, the reticulum, the second chamber, the omasum, the third chamber, and the abomasum, the fourth chamber. Such a stomach is called compound stomach. The food that is swallowed goes into the first chamber or the rumen. Here it is partially digested. This food is called cud. It then goes to the second chamber or the reticulum, from where it is returned to the mouth. After thorough chewing and mixing with the saliva, the re-chewed food is swallowed again. It now bypasses the first 2 chambers and enters the third chamber or the omasum. Here it is broken down into still smaller pieces. The food enters the fourth chamber or abomasum. Here a kind of gastric juice containing an enzyme and hydrochloric acid is secreted and the process of digestion comes to an end. The digested food now passes into the small intestine. Here, the absorption of the food takes place. The undigested food is egested from the body.